I already have this wooden circle. I cut it in a previous video when I showed how to make a circle cutting jig. It has a diameter of 18 centimeters, so the radius is 9 centimeters. I set my circle cutting jig to cut a 7 centimeter circle, because that is the circle I want to cut inside the wooden circle I have. So I extend the radius. And I mark 7 centimeters from the center of the circle. And I will drill a hole there, in the inside part of the 7 centimeters mark. I will install that drill bit in my drill press. It is slightly wider than the jigsaw blade I will use to cut the circle. That piece will help to avoid tear out. Now I want to put the outside edge of the bit right in the 7 centimeters mark. There it is, the drill bit edge is right in the 7 centimeters mark, and the drill bit point is right on the pencil line. So I can drill the hole. But like that, I cannot put the side of the blade right in the 7 centimeters mark. I need to move the blade until the side is against that right line. Maybe I could use a bigger drill bit, but I will drill another hole next to that one. I draw another radius and I mark 7 centimeters from the center. I put the outside edge of the bit right in the 7 centimeters mark, with the drill point on the pencil line. And like that I made a bigger hole. Now I have to cut that. I use a narrow chisel to cut that, making sure I don't cut too much. Now the pivot point is in the 7 centimeters mark in my circle cutting jig. I move the jig until the perpendicular line is right in the tip of the blade teeth. That clamp will work as a stop to keep the jig in that position. I put the pivot point in the center of the wooden circle, and I turn it until the holes are right on the groove in the jig. There we can see the groove. Let's see if there is enough room to pass the blade through both the hole and the groove. I move the blade away. I put the circle cutting jig on the jigsaw table, and I move it until the clamp stops it, and I try to pass the blade through the holes, but there is no way to pass it. Finally, I have to keep cutting the hole with the chisel. I try to cut the part that will touch the teeth of the blade, and I also cut the part that will touch the back of the blade. And once again, I try to pass the blade through both the hole and the groove. There I almost cut my fingers. Now it is almost in place, so I use a wooden block to push the blade until it enters inside the jigsaw blade clamping mechanism, and finally I could install the blade. Now I have to grab hard both the circle and the jig. I hope nothing will jump when I turn the jigsaw on. Well, everything works and I can cut the inside circle. More or less it cuts like when I've cut the outside circle. I must be careful when I finish the cut. I don't want to ruin the hoop. Now I can move the blade away, and it is quite hot. And there I have the wooden hoop. I think it is quite nice. I can use the file to get rid of that imperfection in the beginning and in the end of the cut. and I can sand the wooden bar in the other side of the hoop, and like that I'll get a very nice hoop. And while I was editing the video, it came to mind what to do with this hoop, but I will show that in another video. Thanks for watching. You can find all my woodworking videos in my channel in YouTube. And if you like my videos, thanks for subscribing to my channel.